Alright, so in this one, I want to compare, since we just got an All-Star banner for the first time in, it feels like months. I think it was the last 2 months we didn't have an All-Star banner, actually, because we had Anniversary, we had Dual LF, then we had another LF banner, then we had another LF banner. Yeah, 4 LF banners, back to back to back to back to back. Crazy, right? A lot of CC. A lot of fucking CC to use. But since we do have an All-Star banner with, obviously, Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majub, I do want to compare All-Star banners to step-ups and which is higher value. Now, I've been seeing personally just around the community, in my comments, you guys been saying it, everywhere, that people think All-Star banners have better value than step-ups, currently. Now, to go over why, it's because step-ups, if we just look at the most recent All-Star, most recent step-up, obviously it's Frieza, and then Majub and Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku. Step-ups don't give you anything until you do a lot of it, right? But to credit their defense of what they're going to do with future step-ups from now on, step-ups will guarantee you something. Given it'll take you a lot of fucking CC, you are guaranteed to pull or get the new LF at their certain specific amount of CC. I think it's like 40k CC, right? You're guaranteed to get the new LF if you just save your coins and just hold out and you don't pull them in 40k CC from the banner, then you can get Frieza guaranteed. Now, All-Stars. What do All-Stars offer? To look at the featured units, for one, All-Stars have guaranteed sparkings at the end, so you could pull this guy in the last slot. It's guaranteed sparking, that's why. It's not guaranteed that you're going to pull a new unit, it's just guaranteed a sparking from the banner. But to look at the banner itself, then we'll look at full power Friezas, right? See which one's better in that regard. We have Goku, who, from experience, that instant showcase, I haven't used him prior, or post that, I mean. He needs limit breaks. This guy wants to be 6, 7, 9 stars to really actually look good. Him at low stars will not look good. I'm just going to be blunt with you. If you saw the showcase, he does not look very good. Tomorrow, I'll have him at least 6, probably running him with Majub. And you can see him there. He'll probably look a lot better than he did in his initial showcase of just 2 stars. So him, value-wise, he's only good for a GT-based team, in my opinion. He has low burst damage, and the only big issue I have with him, besides the limit breaks that he needs, is that his green card, while it recovers a little bit of ki, I think we can look at it right here, it recovers what? Yeah, only 20 ki. It needs to recover like 50 or 60. Think of it like this, right? He doesn't get swap in ki, and his green cards only give you 20 ki. So let's say you pop his green when you swap in and catch somebody. Well, you can only do 1 card. He can have level 2 card just beat all he wants, but he only has 1 card. He's very reliant on having a support to get his damage ramped up and even combo into the combo, because you don't have enough ki for him. Personally, I don't think he's better than Namek Goku on Sun Family or, a Saiyan-based team. GT, he is better than Ice, so at your discrepancy, summon for him if you'd like, but this video is not really about who you should summon for, it's more just comparing, right? So look at this guy. We're going to compare him and Majub to Frieza, and then the rest of the banner to the rest of the other banner. So Goku, decent, but worse than Majub. Then Majub, very fucking good. If you saw 1PM, and if you didn't, I really don't like to gas my own video, but dude, go see 1PM. This guy, he's tanking LF Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's hits. People aren't even realizing he has endurance, so they're rushing him. His blue card is insane with canceling the attribute upgrades twice with the blue card, and it's a quick animation. Green card, AoE, quick animation, very good as well. Goku also has a quick animation green card. Very good green cards for both of them. It is absurd. This guy just eats damage. Now, he's not going to do the craziest damage on his Strike and Blast, but his Blast does hold a healing card that's like 3% healing for that Blast Arts used with that healing logo with the heart on it, which isn't bad, but he's more a just defensive god. You can compare him to Gogeta Blue and say, okay, who do I run? Gogeta Blue at, let's say, 3 to 4, or even 6 stars, or Majub at 6 stars. I would say if you want to play a lot safer, and you want to run a Blast-based Fusion Warrior team, Majub. This guy with, transforming Gogeta, Zenkai 7, and Purple Vegito Blue does well. To preference, by the way. He's very reliant on support as well, this Majub. He's not going to do crazy damage, but he can do okay damage with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So, if you run him with like Gogeta, Majub, and then transform into Gogeta, then you'll have a very tanky setup, but you won't do a lot of damage with your Majub, unless you had that purple Vegeta Blue who's offering more support, which he is honestly dying for. Very good unit, very good tank, and it's honestly impressive the amount of damage he doesn't take to anybody. Like, it is impressive. And to go on Goku, one more thing. In my showcase of Majub, this Goku at 6 stars on a Sun Family team, Rising Rush my transforming Gogeta, the Zenkai 7, and he didn't kill. A 6 star of this Goku. That's not good. That's very bad, right? Like, he had about, what, 90-85% health, my transforming Gogeta. Have 1 health bench. I don't even think I have health equips on him, on the team I ran him on, and he didn't kill my transforming Gogeta. This guy, 6 stars. New unit. That's not very good. Yeah. To look more, Rival Goku, very good option. Is he the greatest option for any of your teams? I would say no. People would argue with me that Super Saiyan Blue Goku is worse than this guy, the Zenkai 7. I disagree. I think this guy's a lot worse than Super Saiyan Blue Zenkai 7 Goku. He's just more tedious with like a Vado setup to deal with. But he's a good option, right? Hit the best purple for Rival Universe, and still a god tier damage dealer. Just nothing else to say. Just really good. Purple DKP, I've learned to respect this man. His damage is very good once you get his, uniques going. You do have to swap in and out a couple times for him to do well, but increasing their sub count with his green cards is very tedious to the enemy, and it's very hard to play around that, because you always have to swap in and out, in and out. That's how the game works. But if this guy's increasing your sub count, he's not allowing you to do that. On top of his damage being very good, and his blue card being one of the hardest hitting AoE blue cards in the game, and hardest hitting blue cards in the game. Very good unit. This guy, honestly, with all the Sun Family teams, with Revival Gohan being like relevant, he would be cool to run on like a powerful opponent team. Good D ability for powerful opponent based health, but he's going to do more to Sun Family, and there's a lot of Sun Family units like out and about. Obviously, he is yellow, so he's weak to, the god of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But, I mean, Revival Gohan, Future Gohan, this guy could fucking clobber them. I think he's a little bit underrated for the meta that we're in now, because it is all Sun Family. I think he's decent. Goku coming back is great. Probably the best EX in the game. And that's all we got there. So, to look, right? Very good banner. I don't think there's even a bad pull. Like, again, we can just go to Z Power list, right? I don't think there's a bad pull in the featured units here. You got Angel Vegeta, crazy support for Saiyans, Yamcha, Launch, very good Z abilities, DBS Frieza. Still very good. I think people sleep on DBS Frieza because LOE is not very good. But, crazy unit. This Super Saiyan Vegeta, not very good actually. He's pretty mediocre. Metal Cooler, again, another slept on unit because LOE is not very good. Still a stupidly broken unit. I really love running that Metal Cooler. Movie Goku's okay, and then the banner just gets kind of worse and worse progressively. But just look at the Sparkings. I mean, you're not really... Like, what are you going to pull that's bad? Super Baby 1 or Super Baby 2? There's not really bad pulls. I'd say there's 4, maybe 5 bad pulls you can get. Because Super Saiyan 4s and the GT Kid Goku here, I think, are decent pulls if you want to Zenkai them. Yeah, I don't think these are bad pulls at all. This banner has very good value because there's not much negative to it, right? There's a lot of teams that it can help out, with GT being helped out here, Fusion Warriors, Saiyans, God Key, Rival Universe, Powerful Opponent, Regen. This banner has it all for a lot of players that just want to summon for, something because they're tired of step-ups. Now to look at this banner with Full Power Frieza. Frieza, okay, let me just compare Frieza to, like, Goku and Majub, right? Is Frieza better than Goku? Frieza on his teams is probably worse than Goku just because his teams, right? Powerful opponent not having a great support unit hurts him very much. LOE not being great hurts him, and requiring a lot of Zenkais on LOE because LOE really is Zenkai dependent. Unless you have like a high star DBS Frieza and Metal Cooler. But yeah, he's not a great option. His teams aren't the best options. Powerful opponent is a good team, but Goku can be run on better teams than Powerful Opponent. I would say that GT right now is a better team than Powerful Opponent by a good margin. They have good support. They have everything. They have tanks, they have damage, they have disruptors, they have, you know, endurance, again, another usability of tanking. They have not, they don't even have really glass cannons. Like, you could say Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is a glass cannon, but he still gets cut. He's still a Zenkai. He has good stats, so he's going to eat well. So I would say this guy is probably worse than Goku, and if he's worse than Goku, he's definitely worse than Majub, because Majub's better than Goku, right? So the main headliner unit, I think, is worse than the two new units. Team-wise, maybe unit-wise, you could argue Full Power Frieza is better than Goku, but definitely not better than Majub. No shot. To keep looking here, you know, Namek Goku's great, but what's the chances you're going to pull him? Who knows? And you need to Zenkai him, obviously, so that's not the ideal strategy. LF Frieza, pretty much a dead unit in this meta. I mean, you could run him for his blue cards that he holds, which is great, but besides that, there's not really like, oh, I gotta run my LF Frieza, because he's just gonna die quickly, he's not gonna do much damage, he just has a good green card and it holds blue cards. That's about all he can do for you, and good support. But if you can't do anything, what are you really doing in the match, right? Kid Buu, amazing, fucking amazing. But again, one thing to mention, LF rates are low. It is half the rates of a Sparking, and this banner is not guaranteed Sparking, while All-Star banners are guaranteed Sparking. So, amazing unit, but your chances to pull him are pretty low. Again, I went 30k CC for Frieza, didn't pull him, but I pulled a Kid Buu, right? It's just kind of how it went. He's a really good unit, but your opportunity to pull him isn't that high, and honestly, Kamikalo's out. You could do his Zenkai if you don't have this Kid Buu. Android 21's been around a couple times. You could have done her Zenkai. This guy's not really a necessity for any team, while Goku is more a necessity for GT, and Majub is a necessity, in my opinion, for a tanky Fusion Warrior team and a very good GT-based team. So no necessities so far. Broly, I think he's overrated. He's very good with Super Saiyan buffs. That's great. But besides that, I don't think he'll do much besides against bad opponents, because if your opponent's switching in and out, in and out, in and out, this Broly can look like a monster. He'll have triple, quadruple, 5 card draw speed. He'll be healing because they're switching so much. But overall, against a competent player, I don't think this guy is very good. I think he's okay. Even having him at like 7 stars, I think he is very overrated for what he is. So again, another unit that's not really, you gotta summon for it because you have other units. Then keep looking here. We should have, what, another LF than the EX Goku. Goten needs a Zenkai. Not good. You're not going to run him. And then, oh, Gohan. Again, one of the greatest suits in the game. I agree with that. But your chances to pull him are just low. And you're not going into this banner looking for Gohan. You're going into this banner trying to pull Frieza, right? So it's like, if you pull him, cool, but you're not looking for him. And that's kind of the whole point. Then you have Revival Goku coming back, which, again, it's not even a good consolation prize. If this banner were guaranteed Sparking, then sure, it would be. Because obviously, oh, you're guaranteed something at the end, one of the featured units, one of the random Sparkings, whatever it is. Here, you're not doing that. On the other banner, this guy's on the banner. He's an option for the guaranteed Sparking slot. I didn't pull him personally, but he's an option to where you can pull in the guaranteed Sparking slot. This banner, he's not that option. You get me? Kind of see the devalue of step-ups. And then Purple Hit, again, the same argument, and then we have this EX Super Saiyan Namek Goku, who doesn't replace Green Broly or anybody on any teams, or on Sun Family, he doesn't replace LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So look at that, and we went over everything. What banner is better to summon on? Personally, I'm just going to throw this out there before anyone, you know, gets any ideas. You don't have to summon. This is more a GT-based banner, right? And GT is a very expensive team. We could look here. I assume I have a GT team, you know, about to be made, or we could just go by GT real quick, and we can just see that GT is very Zenkai heavy, right? You most likely want the top 3. That's 21k CC. Do you want Goku? Yeah, for color sake, right? You want him. But Majub, you kind of more or less need. It's hard to say that, right? Because you don't need Majub. You really want him because you don't have a great yellow in Nova. You don't really need Goku because you don't have a great blue in Ice. It's just that Majub will offer you so much better shit than Nova would ever. And then same thing with Goku. I don't think you need the new units to even run GT. I'll be honest. You just need the top 3 there. But if you really like, I want a full color wheel, because full color wheels are actually good, obviously, because you can counter out whatever your opponent's running. Let's say they run like a red, red, green. Okay, I can run my Goku because obviously he's blue. I can run my Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then whoever else to color counter them out in that situation. But do you need them? No. This banner is more a premium, and what I mean by that is there's not a necessity for these units. Yes, Majub is very good. He's a very good tank. He's very good at what he's trying to do. But do you really need him on fusions if you have Gogeta Blue, even at 3 stars? No, you don't. You don't even need to run a yellow on fusions, to be frank with you. And same thing with GT. Do you really need to run this guy on GT? No. Again, the top 3 will suffice in any single match you go up against, because the top 3 are really good Zenkais. They're all very good in what they do and what they're trying to do. So I think this banner is very premium. And Goku, yeah, he's worse than Majub, so it makes it even harder to try to, like, you know, vouch for him. He's better than Ice, but worse than Majub, and he requires a lot more stars to actually be good, and is dependent on support to actually look his greatest, which, depending on support is always like an iffy thing, because if you look like Purple Hit, he's not dependent on support, right? He can do his damage and just shit on anything whenever he wants. You look at this Goku, he can get all that ki, 20 ki, great, yeah, and get double card draw speed, but he's not going to do the craziest damage for a little bit unless you're supporting him. That's my take on that. But GT, just to go over it real quick, is obviously the whole idea is what's a better banner. The All-Star banner is better, but this is, again, a premium banner. You do not need to summon on this banner to run GT. Let me emphasize that. Same thing with this banner. You do not need to summon on this banner to run Powerful Opponent, LOE, Frieza Force. We have the fucking Apul squad that, in my opinion, you could just run and do perfectly fine without this full power Frieza. You don't need them. Same thing here. You don't need Goku. You don't need Majub. But the value is better, as 2 things we saw, right? Revival Goku and Hit. They have a better chance to be pulled on this banner. Straight up, they do. Guaranteed Sparking means they have a better chance to be pulled. You might not pull them, and that's fine. But having a Guaranteed Sparking at the end, compared to no Guaranteed Sparking here, obviously the one with Guaranteed Sparking is your better chance to pull the unit. It's kind of funny how step-ups used to be the most, valuable thing in the game. And now they changed it to where All-Stars are. And I don't think All-Stars will be more rare. I just think they have learned their pattern at this point, right? Essentially like what Dokkan's doing. We'll get an LF, basically a Dokkan Fest, every month. And, well, we got spoiled with 4 LFs this month. Well, these last 2 months, I guess. 4 LFs, and they're probably toning it down a little bit. Drop us this All-Star. Again, I am convinced, by the way, that these units were meant to be on the Anniversary banner, and Ice and Nova and Super Saiyan 4 Goku were meant to be all on their own separate banner when Super Saiyan 4 Goku came out. But disregarding that, yeah, I can't see a way step-ups are better. Like, sure, 40k CC, I'm guaranteed the, new LF, but the new LF isn't even better than the new All-Star banner units, and the All-Star banner units aren't even, like, that insane. Like, this Goku is not that insane. On paper, he looks crazy, but in practice, he's not that crazy. Majub looks about as good on paper as he does in play. Maybe his damage is just a little low, but in play, he doesn't look as bad as Goku does, at least from my experience. Again, Goku really needs stars, right? Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think All-Stars are better value than Step-Ups, or if you think Step-Ups are still better value. I mean, we could look at the Gohan one here, right? And say, well, this banner, they give you a full movies team. You got everything you needed. Well, yeah, but if you really take a deeper look into it, the only one that's truly relevant is Revival Gohan, right? Bojack you can replace with Zenkai 7 Gogeta. I agree. Bojack has very good synergy with Gohan with the -5 sub count when they Rising Rush, and obviously Gohan can take it because he has Revival. You can play around that with a very tanky setup, but you have alternate options to where you don't really need anything else besides Gohan on this banner, and that's if you really really care about it, right? Even Trunks, you don't need to run him on hybrids. You're not going to run him on movies. You have Green Broly. You have other options. Even looking at this banner that has very good value for a movie-based team, you don't need them because Zenkais exist to either replace these units and or be secondary options to these units. In this case, in my opinion, Green Broly is a primary option on movies, while Bojack is a primary option over Red Gogeta, but that's like saying, you know, I don't fucking know, like, this foot is 11 centimeters long and this foot's 11.1. It's essentially the same thing, right? Like, you're not losing out on anything running Red Gogeta over Bojack. It's just that your team will be more offensive than defensive, but it's not like, oh no, you're going to lose because you're not pulling Bojack. Again, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.